Hey, it's Drybear. And today I'm going to teach you the basics of playing Calcharo, one of the best main DPS resonators in Wuthering Waves. In fact, if you watch my tier list for Wuthering Waves 1.0, he's definitely up in the very high echelon for main DPS, and depending on who you talk to, he's either going to be S tier, one of the best in the game, or just at the very top of A. So there can't really go wrong choosing Calcharo as an electric DPS or a main DPS in general, and he has upcoming a banner for Yin Lin, who is his perfect partner in synergy sub DPS and making him even stronger. She has a perfect coordinated attack skill that she'll have on the field all the time with Calcharo, and she increases resonance skill damage, and she also increases electro damage, which is perfect for him. Now, the game is 1.0. There has been a bunch of testing in China, but also a bunch of testing since launch. I'm not going to try and lock down the meta for Calcharo. This is mostly meant for people that are trying to get into it. Maybe you got Calcharo as your first 5-star in your convene and you want to play him, or you just want to run him as your main DPS. This is going to go over his mechanics, his combos, his animation cancels, his ultimate, and his best builds and combos for parties that you can use for him. And we'll start first with his kit so we have an understanding of what exactly is that he does. He is probably the resonator that has the most amount of animation cancels out of any resonator in the 1.0 release. He has a bunch of long animations that are locked that you can interrupt with either switch cancels by going to a different resonator, or by using your E, your resonance ability, to interrupt that animation. So if you watch his basic attack combo, which is a 5-hit combo, he'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the full 5-hit combo for his basic attacks, and it's actually pretty long. Some of these, like 3 and 4, are incredibly long, so that's 2. See how slow 3 is? That whole long animation is incredibly slow, and then 4 can be super slow as well, and that pulls out into 5. Any of these can be interrupted in several different ways, and that's part of the difficulty in learning Calcharo and playing him properly, is understanding when to animation cancel and when to swap out to deal with it. The first method we have for this is going to be with the heavy attack. So if you hit and then hold the button, you'll be able to do this heavy attack here, which is him throwing down his blades, and he does these electro blades in front of him. This heavy attack can be followed up on almost any of his attacks and will currently interrupt whatever it is that he's doing. So you can do it after any one of the basic attack hit chains. You can do 1 into a heavy attack, you can do 1, 2 into a heavy attack, you can do 1, 2, 3 into a heavy attack, and any of those can be interrupted and you'll go straight into it. Keep in mind that if you do heavy attack cancel, it will reset the chain on his basic attacks, and you don't really want to do that because you do want to finish it as much as possible. Now, you can switch cancel as well, especially for his special heavy attack. If you switch cancel to a different character and then come back, you'll have plenty of time. So if you didn't know, if a character is in the middle of an animation that's quite long, if you switch to a different character and they're still actively doing that, then the character that was doing that animation will stay on screen, finish the animation, and then disappear, even though you technically have 2 resonators out at once. The one ability that you'll want to use the animation canceling on is if you have full meter, full forte, and you do his jump slash attack. That one can be animation canceled, and you can actually get a full ability off from a different character and then come back to him without being interrupted. The other way to animation cancel, which won't reset your basic attack combo, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is going to be using his E ability, his resonance ability. So this ability is a 3-hit combo. It goes 1, 2, and then 3, and then it goes on cooldown. Each one of those hits will give you a chunk of your meter, and when your meter is full and you heavy attack, it will allow you to do your dunk attack on top of it as well. However, this resonance ability that he has can be used at any point in the basic attack combo, and it won't reset progress on that basic attack combo. So what you can do is you can do like 1, 2, 3, then go into it, and you can hit, you see how you can speed that up just by using his resonance ability? You can weave that into the combo for his basic attack by going 1, 2, 3, hit 3, hit E, hit 3, and it speeds it up dramatically and also gives you your meter, which is super useful. So you do want to be able to do that as part of the rotation. However, when you're inside of your ultimate, your resonance liberation, you don't want to waste time doing your resonance ability because your ultimate is about 50 to 60% of your overall combo damage. Inside of your ultimate is basically everything. You want to be able to just be doing this the whole time during your ultimate, because not only are you incredibly fast, but you'll be doing tons and tons of of damage. So if you stay on him, like if your team comp isn't fully fleshed out yet and you don't have like perfect on-field time for each character and you're trying to build things up, you can hit and go into it. Let's go into a training so I can hit a target dummy for it as well. Okay, so we saw what his heavy attack was like normally. So if you hold your attack button, he'll do this kind of forward slicing attack, and that can interrupt any animation that he has. However, if you have used his resonance ability 3 times and filled up his meter, you can go into his special attack, which is this right here. So if you heavy attack when you have meter, he will then jump up into the air after the attack, slam down, and do this big AoE for bonus damage. So if we don't have meter, he does this attack. If we do have meter, so if we go boom, 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 and then fill that out, then we go into this, then he slams, you'll be able to do damage there. Now that heavy attack is the one that you can swap out of. So you can start that attack, quick swap to another character, use an ability, and quick swap back to Calcharo, and you'll get bonus damage out of that, and you'll also be able to build Forte for another character, build more Concerto, and get more damage out of it, which means that as you master Calcharo, you'll get a lot more value out of that, because then you'll have this meter build up. Then when you start the heavy attack animation, you can swap out, and then you can go back to him and still continue where you're going. Now for his Resonance Liberation, his ultimate, he summons his Phantom, merges, gets super powered, and then he gets 5 bars for his passive meter, and his attacks get way faster, and he also gets Virgil's judgment cut in the AoE here. And this is what you want to make sure you're spending the entire time attacking through. Usually you don't really want to even use resonance in this. You want to be spending the entire time just constantly attacking so that you can get the most value out of it and get some bonus there. And it's usually you want to build up his Resonance Liberation, his ultimate ability, and then outro into him from someone that gives him some kind of synergistic buff, like a Sanhua or a Yinlin that can give him lots of bonus. And then you want to finish his whole combo, gain that ultimate, and then you can swap back out again. And then when it finishes, you can just go back into this. But if you're just first leveling him and getting him up, you can just stay in normal form, use his 3-hit combo, building up his resonance. I usually do after 3 and 4 on the basic attacks for his resonance ability, just to speed up that combo and then go back into it. And then you've got his ultimate there. He also has a special outro as well. If you outro into him from another character, you'll be able to get some really nice combo bonus out of that as well, and get some bonus there. Now when it comes to echoes and set bonus, you have 2 main choices. You either want to max out the Void Thunder Sonata effect or the Lingering Tunes Sonata effect. Personally, I like Void Thunder better just because it feels better, and all of his attacks are going to be doing electro as well. And once we have Yinlin in the game, I think it's going to be outperforming the Lingering Tunes Sonata effect anyways, but that gives you that option there. However, you do have to keep in mind that if you're running the Void Thunder 5-set bonus, you have to heavy attack or use your resonance skill before going into your full combo, so you can trigger this extra bonus here, the upon using heavy attack or resonance, electro damage increased. So your normal attack combo when you're fully maxed out and you have your meter is going to be popping into your intro from an outro character that's going to buff you, and then go straight into your ultimate, and then do 5 basic attacks into a heavy to dump out your meter, then do 5 basic attacks into a heavy, and then you'll usually use your echo, whatever echo you're running, to finish that out and exit. However, if you're running the Void Thunder set, then you'll want to actually, I'm building meter right now, you'll want to actually use your resonance ability once before you pop your ultimate, so you actually have that buff there. So normally your combo would be outroing into Calcharo with a resonance buff. Then you would pop the ultimate right as you enter it, and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into heavy, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into heavy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into heavy, and then once your ult ends, you can see by the bars down at the bottom, then you'll switch over and just use whatever your character is. I wouldn't recommend Thundering Mephis. He is so incredibly slow, but that would be your combo. However, if you're running the Void Thunder set, then you would outro into Calcharo, then do your resonance once to get that buff going, and then do the same combo that way. The other option for the set bonus is going to be Lingering Tunes, which gives you a attack bonus, and it gives you attack and outro skill damage increase. His outro skill is actually quite strong. His intro skill is also quite strong, so Lingering Tunes works, and I think Lingering Tunes might actually outperform Void Thunder until we get Yinlin into the game and working that way, but you want to just kind of use that. You can even use 2 Lingering Tunes, 2 Void Thunder Thunder if you really want to. But next, let's talk about the main Echo that you want to have equipped, the one that you're going to be using the ability for as you have options as you progress. When you first start out the game, I recommend using the Flautist. He is super easy to use, very strong, and very like reactive. All you have to do is equip him, and then you can just create this beam. If you hold down the button, he'll do an electro beam for the full duration, and then you can swap back out. Super easy to get. You get this for a bunch of events and bonuses, which is really easy, and you can scale him that way. As you move up to higher and better ones, I have multiple accounts, so I'm going to swap in here. You have options of Thundering Mephis, the other Mephis, which is, where'd he go? Tempest Mephis, which is probably my choice for the best bet there. And then you also have the Mech Abomination for another option too, if you want to run this. Personally, I would probably run Tempest Mephis as your main, as he has a shorter hit combo. Thundering Mephis to me is, his hit combo is so incredibly long. It's like 5 hits total, and he teleports every time he does it, which means you can miss a lot of characters or it's hard to group things up, whereas Tempest is 2 hits, which is much easier, and even the Mech Abomination is much cleaner because he just does the AoE and it's super easy to pick up. So I'd recommend going Tempest Mephis as you work towards late game, get a 5-star of this and you know, tune it, get it perfectly set up, and ideally you would get crit rate and crit damage on the base stats here and look for electro damage as a follow-up, or if you get like a lower cost one that has different stats, you can put that on it as well. Or you can also run attack percent as a lower tier, but I would usually put electro percent on Calcharo as a higher value if you can get access to it, and then attack percent as a follow-up for that on the lower tiers. When you first unlock him, I would use Broad Blade of Night, or you can go to the weapon trainer in Jinzhou and craft the Guardian Blade, which is also just fine. Both these have attack bonuses on them that are super easy to get. You can get this down up to like level 20 or level 40, and then you want to start working towards a 4-star or 5-star. Either of the 5 stars in the game are perfectly fine for Calcharo. So either the Verdant Summit from the GN banner or the normal 5-star that you get from the normal weapon banner. Both of those are excellent and will outscale all of the 4-star bonuses. But if you have to move up to 4-star, what I'd recommend is going the Helios Cleaver. This means that after you use your Resonant skill, you get an increased attack percent, and it stacks up to amount and then resets. You want to stack this up. If you know you're using Helios Cleaver, you want to use your Resonance skill right before you go into that combo, just like if you're running the Void Thunder set and then go into your full combo. Just be aware that you have this bonus here and work your way up. So I would recommend Broad Blade of Night into Helios Cleaver and into either of the 5-star options. I believe the base banner, the base Convene, is actually going to be better than the Verdant Summit for him. So the Lustrous Razor is a great choice for him as an option here because it gives you energy regen and it gives you the ultimate damage, where again most of your damage comes from your ultimate damage. Team synergies, your support is either going to be Baizhe, or if you have Verena as an option, Verena is even better for the heals there. They both basically serve the same function in that they will give him a little bit of a damage bonus and will keep him alive with healing, and there's just the 2 options there. There isn't really any other choices for support in the game right now, so if you have Baizhe, you want to run her. You can also run Tao Chi as well as an option for shielding, or even Genshin for option as support as well, but you want to kind of work towards either Baizhe or Verena as the healer. Then for sub DPS synergy, your best option right now is going to be San Juan, though you could likely swap that in for Yang Yang if you wanted to as a follow-up, and you could probably even get Mortifi for heavy attack damage, though it's not going to be super useful. The best option that we have right now for synergy sub DPS is San Juan. Not only is she the fastest in and out of all the sub DPS in the game, she can get on the field, dump her kit, pop up her Concerto, get her ultimate, pop it, and then get off the field in like 6 or 7 seconds. It's incredibly fast, but also her outro skill into Calcharo is a bonus to basic attack damage, and a good like third of his damage is basic attack, especially during outside of his ultimate as he's swapping. So you get some bonus there. However, his match made in heaven is going to be the next banner that comes in about 2 weeks or so with Yin Lin. So if you are running a Calcharo as your main character, save up for that. Don't even run the GN banner. Save up for Yin Lin because she is perfect for Calcharo. They are a perfect match. You run those 2 together and you're going to be fine for a long, long time. And that's Calcharo in 1.0 Wuthering Waves. If you're looking for other guides, just let me know down below in the comments. Also, if you've been playing a bunch of Calcharo and you have other tips that I didn't cover, toss that down there as well, as the game is new and we're all still learning together. If you found value in today's video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people, and don't forget to check out my other channels for other content and other stuff and other things.